Hello and welcome to another reading vlog. And you're like, yeah, Chanel, I've seen you in this outfit so many times. That's because I've done a lot of filming today. Filmed my wrap up. I filmed that vlog because I already had so many books and I didn't want to make it into a huge long vlog. I'm trying to keep all my videos to less than 20 minutes. I'm actually trying to aim for 15, but pretty much 20 minutes or less is what I'm aiming for. So I thought I would just do a mini vlog for that so I could start again fresh. So I have already read some books. So let me tell you about what I've read thus far. So the first book I read was The War That Saved My Life. This was a recommendation by my daughter. It's one of her favorite books. She really likes books that are to do with World War II, people with disabilities or orphans. That seems to be her jam. So in this book, you have a young girl who is crippled with a birth deformity. Her mother is cruel and abusive. It's set in England during World War II. She has her younger brother whom she takes care of. The abuse is heavy in this. I was like, this mother is a real piece of work, you know? But basically in London, a lot of parents shipped their children off to other areas of England because they're afraid that they were going to get bombed. So she gets shipped off to live with this other lady who I believe was in a previous sapphic relationship. And she takes care of them and she learns for the first time what family actually is, what it means to be loved, what she's capable of doing, and she sort of comes into her own. It's very fast paced. It's such an easy read. I think I flew through this like 30 minutes. I read the whole book. It was so easy to read. There's ponies involved. So I can see why my daughter enjoyed it. It's not my jam. Like it's not the kind of story that I enjoy, but I can see a lot of kids enjoying it. And then the next book that I picked up was Starling House. So I do like Alix E Harrow's work. Sometimes though it's a bit like sometimes I eat it up. This one, so I've given this, one sec, my feet. I am popping down low because my feet are killing me. I've been on my knees this whole time. No one should be on their knees for that long. So I've given this 4.5 and I'm going to be honest, the rating is it's more than the sum of its parts. If you broke it down into writing and characters and plot, it wouldn't equal the 4.5, but because of just the overall feel and vibes of it, it does. So in this book, you've got a character who's taking care of her brother after their mother has passed away tragically in this town where there's this house that everyone believes is haunted. The people there are like, what's up with that family? There's a lot of like folklore going on to do with it as well. There's like two warring families. Basically, because of necessity, she wants to get her brother into this private school. She needs the money. She ends up being called to the house. She's drawn to it. She goes there, she touches the gates. She ends up bleeding on the gates. She meets the enigmatic current owner, whom she keeps referring to, like he's referred to as ugly a lot. I'm getting Adam Driver vibes, but like, I'm like, man, give the guy a break. You don't need to drill it into us that he's not a handsome man. Like, okay, we understand. But basically she ends up working for him as a housemaid. So he's a very broody, troubled, tortured love interest with a sword. And there's a sort of dislike, slow burn romance that occurs there. I think this definitely could have been cut down to improve the pacing. There were some filler bits that didn't need to be, like the amount of time she spends cleaning up the house. Like we get it. The house is gross and dirty and you're having to legitimately clean it, but we don't need to read that much about it. Like it's not amazing, but I really enjoyed it. There's stuff to do with ghosts and beasts that attack through fog. It's all very like the gothic element is there. And it was interesting. It was a little bit different. Like I said, it's not amazing, but I don't know. I was just, I guess, in the mood for it. So I gave it 4.5. I read it all in one sitting. So yeah, I guess I enjoyed it. So that was Starling House. Like already this month, I think my average rating is like a 3.9. I'm doing well. I want to keep going with that. So I don't know what I'm going to pick up next. Like I said, this month is spooky season. That's probably better, isn't it? Like I'll be in pain for you guys. So this month is spooky season. So I'm probably leaning towards more of the witchy, haunted house kind of books. Sorry, I've got people just walking past my house and they can see me. They're looking right at me. Just eye contact. But we'll see how we go. So today I have done all my wrap-ups for the month, as I might have mentioned, and I'm going to go to the library and do a massive library haul. I've got a lot of books there, so I'll come back and show you what I've picked up from there. And most likely those will be the books that I do read this week. But like I am trying to keep these vlogs to less than 20 minutes. So when I feel like I've hit that with a certain amount of books, I'll try and chop it off. I'll touch base with you when I come back from doing my library haul. Hello guys, I'm back from my library haul, so let me show you what I have gotten. Okay, so first up we have Irresistible Pleasures from a Vegetarian Kitchen, Comfort and Joy. So this is a cookbook. And then we have Magica, Finding Spiritual Guidance Through Plants, Herbs, Crystals and More. So this one really caught my eye. It looks pretty cool. And then we have The Harpy. And here we've got Tin Man. All he ever wanted was a heart. Now he has to figure out how to use it. So this is a graphic novel. Sad Girl Novel. So this is one of the books that caught my eye based on its cover, but wasn't available, and now it's available, so we'll see what it's like. And then here we have Late Bloomer, How an Autism Diagnosis Changed My Life. And this is for my daughter, my book of cats and kittens, because that's her wheelhouse. I also grabbed this picture book, Not Me, so we'll see how it goes. Like I said, if it's a great picture book, I'll give you my review. If not, you shan't ever hear about it again. Here we have, this book is for people who love mushrooms. How could I not? How could I not? And last but not least, The Moth Keeper. I think I requested this over a year ago, but it's finally come in. So this is a middle grade graphic novel. So these are my bounties and I can't wait to get started. Hello. Please look at my beautiful sleeping cat, Sylvie. She's adorable. So I have read through Comfort and Joy. Look, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't really bookmark a lot of these to cook. They didn't really catch my eye. This has one of my pet peeves with cookbooks in that not every recipe has a photo. And I really like to have a photo. It makes sense for me when I'm trying to figure out what I'm actually making, to have a visual aid with that. Out of these recipes, pretty much all the ones that I thought about making are in the dessert section only. So the desserts in this, very interesting stuff. It seems to be very fusion cuisine, so blending maybe Indian with modern Australian and blending all different cuisines together. But yeah, I didn't bookmark much of this one, so this is not one that I would consider purchasing. Hello. I have read, this is a book for people who love mushrooms. This was so cute. It's brief, but it's got a lot of little fun tidbits. It does talk about some particular mushrooms in detail, certain types of shrooms. But this is a great little pocket-sized edition, especially if you're first getting into mushrooms. It's not overwhelming, and there's some lovely illustrations. So I really did like this book. I'm not going to rate it, but I don't know, 4.5. Like, there's nothing really wrong with it. So this was fantastic. Willow. There goes that box and bag, hey. So I also read The Moth Keeper. So this is a middle grade graphic novel. And in this world, there is a tribe of people who decide to live their life by the moon. So they're awake in the darkness and then they go to sleep in the light. And there's this one job that falls on a person, which is to take the lunar moths out to feed, and they must return them before the day breaks. Otherwise, this magical tree that sustains the village will die. It's a little bit confusing. So the illustrations are stunning, beautiful. The story itself just had a lot of plot holes. There was just too many questions. Why can't these people, because a lot of the people in the village were yearning for the sun to see the world in the daylight. And I'm like, you're awake for 16 hours in a 24-hour cycle. Surely some of those hours can be daylight. Like, some of them could be. And then the Moth Keeper, it's supposed to be this really big responsibility because you're alone. You're all by yourself doing it. And I sat there and I thought, why though? Why do they have to be alone? Why can't they do it in pairs? Why can't they do it part-time, do something else part-time? It didn't make sense to me. There's also this big thing in the book about the mother abandoning the daughter, and we don't ever understand why or what happened. So this just had so many questions to me, and the logic didn't make sense. And so the whole themes of loneliness, for instance, and contemplating, do I want to live by the moon or the sun? They didn't hold weight, because I thought, well, get someone to do the job with you, then you're not alone. Use some of your waking hours to go out in the sun. You know what I mean? Like, so you can see the world in the sun and see, do I want to live by the natural circadian rhythm, or do I want to continue to be a night folk? Like, it's a choice. You can just choose. So because of that, it just didn't hold any weight for me, and I found it a bit silly, but I can understand why a lot of people would enjoy it. If I was going to rate it personally, it would be a 3.5, but I'm not rating it. The illustrations are beautiful. Yeah, I enjoyed it somewhat. Like I said, 3.5 stars, and I'm going to end the vlog here. So until next time, stay well, Star Child.